And welcome back to Monroe Monday. Just had with us Brandy Bird, and she was running for uh, county clerk in the May primary. Uh, didn't ask her what number she was on the ballot, but just look for her name if you want to vote for her. You also have Teresa Sheffield, the incumbent, and Emily Williams. And today we have with us Christopher Collins.
Nice to be here today, Randy.
And I guess this is actually the first time me and you've ever met because I don't know you exactly.
I think it is.
And he is running for Monroe County Judge Executive in the May primary. And of course, he'll be running against the incumbent Mitchell Page, Brock Carter, and Cody Emerton. And so I invited Christopher in today. And so we'll just get started with him. Just kind of let us know who your parents are, your family is.
Okay.
And we'll just go from there then.
Well, I think I can fill you in.
All righty.
Randy, my name is Christopher Collins. I'm a 48-year resident of Monroe County. Other than about 3 months, I've been a resident of this county that long. I was born in 1973, right here in the old hospital here in Tompkinsville.
The War Memorial Hospital.
Yes, sir. Yes. I've been married now for 24 years to my wonderful wife, Samantha Quitt Collins. And we have six kids. We have 4 biological kids and 2 adopted kids, and we're in the process right now of adopting 2 more.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir. And Samantha and I have been foster parents for about 23 years, and we foster parent about 73 kids in our time being foster parents, and children as young as 1 all the way up to adult age. You know, we've seen them transform and really be prosperous in the community. My parents are Ricky, the late Ricky Lee Collins, and my mother is the late Betty Carol Goat Collins. They lived in the Sand Lick area of Monroe County, Sulphur Lick. My father, he moved here in 1970 from Centerville, Mississippi, and my mother, she is a native of Monroe County. My father, his parents were Homer Collins or the late Homer Collins and the late Mildred Meese Collins, and both lived here in Tompkinsville. And my grandparents on my mother's side is Clifton Gold, and the late Clifton Gold and the late Dean Pennington Gold, and they lived in the Mud Lick area. My father worked for South Central Rural Telephone for about 30 years, and he retired there, and in that same time he was a founding member of the Mud Lick Volunteer Fire Department, and he served as chief of the Mud Lick Fire Department for 25 years. And my mother, she worked for the United States Postal Service as a rural carrier, and she was also a founding member of the fire department and served as a firefighter for Mud Lick Fire Department. My grandfather, on my dad's side, which I stated was Homer Collins, he served as a lifetime member here in the Masonic Lodge here in Tompkinsville, number 753. And my grandmother, she was a longtime member of the Order of the Eastern Star. My grandfather on my mother's side, he loved his auction sales, he worked for the Tompkinsville Motor Company or the Chevrolet Garage, as we all knew, until a heart condition drove him out of public work. But he loved his auction sales, and my grandmother, she really loved quilting. She spent a lot of time with different family members quilting. Excuse me. And she really loved gardening and just loved life, you know.
Yeah.
My grandfather, on my grandfather Homer, he worked here in Tompkinsville with Texas Eastern Gas Pipeline, and he worked there for. I think he retired after about 40 years, and but I wrote a few things down here so I can remember.
Well, yeah, of course.
Like I'm the first. I'm the first of two kids, to Ricky and Betty, and I have a brother, Patrick Collins. Or everybody, if you call his phone, it's Richard Patrick Collins. So he's a paramedic here in Monroe County, and he's married to his wonderful wife, Casey Clarkson Collins, and they have two boys, Weston and Lane, and they live in the Mud Lick community. Randy, I went to Joe Harrison Carter for elementary school, and then right at the end of my elementary school, we went through the consolidation, and I ended up in Gamaliel for middle school, like a lot of us did, and you know that's a big. I know it's just Monroe County, but it's a big culture shock whenever you go from little Joe Harrison Carter to Gamaliel, you know.
Right.
But you know, we barreled through that, and I went on into high school, which I had the pleasure of being in the old high school and spent time there, and then graduated in 1991 from Monroe County High School. After high school, I left there. I really didn't know whether or not to go to college or what, so I just jumped right into the workforce, and I went to Glasgow and accepted a job with American Engineers Incorporated, and there I traveled this state a lot. I've seen a lot of this state. I've seen the back roads, the ins and outs, places where you never think about going. You know, we probably surveyed everywhere, you know.
So you was a surveyor then, or
Well,
assistant?
I was an assistant surveyor. Yeah, we walked mountains in eastern Kentucky and swampland in western Kentucky, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. And but just like everything else, you know, you have to go maybe where the money's at. You know, you have to better yourself. So I left American Engineers and went to R.R. Dawley and Sons, which is now LSC Communications, and I worked there, Randy, for 25 years. And while I worked there, I went up through the ranks, and by the time, which LSC Communications, they shut down in 2020, just at the start of the COVID-19 crisis, and moved all operations to Danville, Kentucky, and other places. But I spent, you know, like I said, I went up through the ranks there and really enjoyed my time there, and met some wonderful people from Monroe County. I mean, a lot of good people, a lot of hard-working people came to Glasgow for a job, and I spent a lot of time with them. You know, let's see.
I tell you what, let's take a break.
Okay.
Let you gather your thoughts. You know, you
Okay.
done thrown out a lot of information.
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
and I appreciate that.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
And
Thank you.
we'll take a break. We'll be right back with more Monroe Monday. And welcome back to Monroe Monday. We have with us Christopher Collins, and he was discussing his, I guess, life history pretty much, and read it to R.R. Dongley so far, hadn't we?
Yes.
You
Yes,
retired
sir.
from there then?
Well, unfortunately, it was just
The move.
yeah, the move. Yeah, it's pretty much they just we were pretty much all separated from LSC Communications, other than some of them had moved and went to work at Danville and other facilities around. But my wife and I really had prepared for that day because technology and stuff. I mean, R. Donnelly's was a printing industry, and we saw that something was going to change, and we had discussed what I was going to do. If the time came that I lost my job, and I'd always wanted to go back to school, and with the backing from my family, I decided to go in. As I left R. Donnelly, or LSC Communications, I'm awful about keep calling it R. Donnelly's, but whenever I left LSC Communications, I jumped right into and went to taking classes at Sky, or KCTCS, which we all know it is Sky. And I was headed towards the Associates of Applied Science in the Industrial Maintenance Technology portion, which that's what I was doing at Donnelly's whenever I left. I worked in the machine shop. So that's what I've been doing since I left, is going to school. And in May, if Lord willing, I'll graduate with my applied science and industrial maintenance degree. And also I've got a senior. She'll be graduating. I've got a daughter that's going to school in Alabama, and she'll be graduating in May, and we'll just have a big graduation party.
And hopefully you'll win the election.
And hopefully I'll win the election. Yes, sir. Yes.
All right, let's turn toward that a little bit. What possessed you to want to run for judge executive and so forth?
Well, Randy, I thought that over, and I think it's kind of an easy question to answer. I went and got my papers, and I signed, and I filled out a little portion of it. And I talked it over with my wife, and I filled a little bit more out, and I talked over it with my wife some more, and then the snow hit, and they extended the deadline to file, and so I contemplated that even more, and just so happened I've got a dresser drawer, and I've got some of my grandfather's stuff in it, and I come across one of his whenever he filed for to run for county magistrate. I guess probably back in the late '80s, early '90s. I come across that, and I said, you know what, I'm going to go file. I'm going to put forth my effort for this county. I'm going to take what I've learned from him and all the rest of the people in this county, and try to do something good for this county. And that's what possessed me to do that. Is I've always had the ambition to help people. I watched that through my grandfather as he took fruit and candy to a neighbor in the nursing home as I was growing up, and it just really made an influence on me to help others. And whenever we built the fire department up from the ground and in Mud Lick, after joining that, I saw the camaraderie and the neighbor helping neighbors, way of life, and that just drove me even more to pursue helping others. And that's kind of where the foster parent thing came in too. It's just, I was drove to help them, and now it's kind of come to a close. I think me and my wife is gonna kind of call it quits once we get the two adopted. I think we're going to call it quits on the foster parenting, and I want to focus more on getting to know people in this county, getting to know what needs to be done in this county to make it better. I've traveled this state, like I said before, and there's things out there that will help this county, and I know the government gives money. We can pick up on some of that. I think the federal government's out there, the state and local government. We can pick up some stuff to help this county out, because I've seen it firsthand. We've done several grants through the fire department. We've done a grant and got radio system installed in for the county for the emergency services, and I just really think that there's things out there that will help this county.
Like you said, you've been all over the state of Kentucky, and you've probably seen things that you would like to see in Monroe County.
Oh yeah,
ideas,
yeah.
Ideas in your head, and the only way a lot of times to implement them is to be in office.
Right, yes. I've seen as simple things like just having a car show in a town. We'll take Somerset for example. They have summer nights cruise, and they get so many people into Somerset. That means so much revenue for that area. And we may not be able to have it that big, but we can have car shows. We can pull in tractor shows. We can pull in, like in Gamale we have a 4-wheeler rodeo. It just started again this year, but we're pulling in thousands of people at events like that. We've got the Watermelon Festival, and I know the COVID has drove a lot of numbers down, but as we come up out of the COVID, we need to be prepared to be able to bring these people into Monroe County. We got a rich history here, and and I didn't understand until the other day, looking at the bicentennial coins for the veterans. How many veterans have we got in Monroe County? There's a
close to 1,000.
Large, and I didn't know the number, but it's overwhelming, and I don't know if we've ever really focused on them. We could have some kind of veterans, something that brings in a lot of veterans from around that state, but that's for our historical society and people in that realm to spearhead. But there's just so much, Randy, that we could do for the county that I feel like we're not doing. I think if we get out there and we promote Monroe County, we've got counties around us that Barron County promotes themselves like crazy, and that's the bad part about it is we're giving so much to Barron County, in the form of jobs and tourism, and it's, and I understand that they're pushing it, and I glory in that. I glory in their spunk, and I think we need that. We need that. We need that.
That spunk.
That spunk. Yeah, we need to really push what we've got here, because we've got a lot, and we've got a lot of good people here that is very talented in what they do. I mean, I've seen it firsthand. I've worked with some machinists that's come from this county, and man, it's overwhelming. Electricians and just material handlers. I mean, that's not all what they know.
And actually, we need more of them.
Yes,
because they all, if you try to call an electrician or a plumber or just a handyman, they're all busy. They're covered up.
Right. And we need to. I don't know what we can do about educating that, pushing that into the education system. I'm just not clear on that, but we need, like you said, we need more of that. And
you talking about industrial maintenance that you're in. Of course, they teach you electricity and probably maybe carpentry and plumbing. Just a little bit of everything.
Oh yes. I mean, that's that's what these factories and that's what places are looking for now, is that overall well-rounded individual with all the skills. And the kids of this county that's graduating, and it's wonderful now that most every kid that walks out of that high school up there is college and career ready. And I give a lot of commendation to the teachers and to our trade school and stuff for making that happen. And
as far as industry goes in Monroe County, and I know you'll agree with me, a lot of times we can't look for that 300 or 400 person factory,
No.
But if we could, get one to start off with 25 people, 50 people, 100 people.
Oh yeah.
We don't have to look big.
Well, Randy,
we can start small and build from there.
Yeah. Well, Randy, I grew up in the, whenever I grew up with people going to the sewing industry, to the sewing factory for a job, and I grew up watching them go in, and they enjoyed their job, and they were close to home, and they were close to their family, and they may work 10 or 12 hours a day, but as they walked out of that building, they could still go to their kids' football game, or their go to any kind of meetings they needed to go to. They kept more time here in the county, and I think they loved this county more than say now, because
also their money that was, as far as taxes goes, if they were here, their taxes stayed here.
Yes, their taxes stayed
now
here.
If they're in Barron County or somewhere else, then that money is going toward Barron County.
Exactly.
And making them grow, and Monroe County is losing out on all that.
Oh yes, exactly.
So we got to have that.
Oh yeah,
industry
we
in
have
here.
to have, yes. And we've got our which we've got a straight line, as far as it goes. If we really push it, we've got a straight line to higher government. I mean, we've got our congressman here in this county, and with our state representative, and they're there to listen. If we're going to talk, and we need to have that straight line. We need to have that conversation.
Right.
We need to say, Mr. Comer, what is out there for Monroe County? It may not be, like you said, 1,000 person job or 1,000 person factory, But it may be that somebody's looking for someplace to come, you know, and we may just have to settle with the 25 and the 30 and the 100,
Right. We have about 3 minutes left. Anything in particular you want to just touch on before I let you go?
I do, Randy. I kind of have it laid out here that I want to challenge the current administration that we have right now, and this county, Randy, was allocated through the Kentucky County American Rescue Plan, or ARP, and the county got, and I have it here in my note, $2,068,638 of money to be through the ARP, or the American Rescue Plan, which I think that's kind of tied in with the CARES Act plan. I know this plan was for like water and sewer and broadband. It provided premium pay to eligible workers and grants to eligible employees. And that's just a few things. But I know that the county on April the 30th of this year of 2022, they are supposed to send into the federal government either a proposal or what they spent this money on. And I want the current administration to be transparent, and I want them to publish that into our local newspaper as to what this money was earmarked for, what they allocated this money for. And I think that's a good start on, especially what I want to see is more transparency in that office. I know we can go to the county meetings, but we don't get the full picture. We need that printout telling us where that money went. I think the people of Monroe County deserves that. I think the people of Monroe County deserves, as those county meetings are going on, I think they deserve it being on Facebook Live, or get our local schools involved with their television program and televise that. If there's nothing to hide, then that's good.
Alrighty. So good luck to you in May, and of course you had the drawing the other day. What number are you on?
I'm number 2 on the ballot.
Number 2 on the ballot.
Yes, sir.
Like I said, he'll be against Mitchell Page, the incumbent, also Brock Carter and Cody Emerton.
Yes.
So this is Christopher Collins, and appreciate him coming in today.
Thank you.
And giving all his information. And if you feel like he's the right person for Judge Executive, go out and vote for him in May. And that's all the time we have for today. Appreciate Christopher coming in. And be listening and watching this on again tonight at 6 o'clock. And then you can watch it on the Monroe page. That's MYROE on Facebook. Hope everyone has a great day and enjoy.